I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Keith. Is it one time or once upon a time? We're going to find out. But Keith Thurman, he said that his fight with Barrios is going to be a WBC title eliminator, but the details kind of seemed a little sketchy. Let's take a listen to what Keith Thurman had to say during his interview. All right. And this interview comes courtesy of Fight Hype, and you can subscribe to their page.
November, you're fighting first week of February. Let's say you're victorious over Barrios. Everything goes according to plan. February 5th. Crawford doesn't have an opponent. Could that be next for Keith Thurman in the summertime if the opportunity was presented?
Well, I would have to say right now it doesn't seem like it's on the list. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
The reason is, my bad,
I didn't hear.
Little dead phone. I got 20% to go. We got
okay,
plenty of time
so
to talk.
I'll go quickly, but just if you can go ahead and give me your thoughts on Crawford.
I love the fight. I love facing these undefeated welterweight champions. I want the belts. But it might not have been announced. You seem like you're a little unaware. But the WBC approached me for a weigh-in check. And I said, why is the WBC approaching me for a weigh-in check? I don't hold the WBC title. Mario Barrios doesn't hold the WBC title. They have no right to check my weight unless this fight, February 5th, is a title eliminator.
Oh.
Which I knew there was a small possibility of being on the books. So if it hasn't been fully announced, this is my way of announcing it. They've been coming at me. If they want to stop checking my weight, you know, if they're going to do something else, they're going to do something else. But everything in boxing is done for a reason. And I know that the only reason why the WBC can request such a thing weeks prior to a fight, where's your weight, champ, is because this fight will be a 12-round title eliminator for the WBC. So whomever holds the WBC title later this year is most likely who Keith Thurman will be fighting. And I look forward to that challenge. I look forward to that opportunity. And then after that, we can talk about other champions.
Okay,
but
so
if something was to happen where I do not get to forcefully make the WBC champion face Keith Thurman, then obviously with the contract, with the great fight proposal, I'd be more than open to fighting Terrence Bud Crawford.
All right. So that was a mouthful from Keith Thurman, but basically what he's saying is that the WBC is checking his weight, and so he believes it's because his fight with Barrios is going to be a title eliminator, making him the mandatory for whomever has the WBC title later on in the year, and that is who he wants to fight next. Trill Dollar Bill, what is your reaction to what Keith Thurman had to say and his reaction to the question about a fight with Terrence Crawford?
Well, Keith Thurman said a lot. If anything, this fight with Barrios shouldn't be no WBC title. This is the Barrios who just was fighting Tank, right?
Just lost the Tank.
And he's really like pushing this title eliminator thing with Barrios. This shows you the WBC, we be crooks. It shouldn't be. If anything, if he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford and that be a WBC title eliminator, I could see that. You know, that would be cool. But fighting Barrios and that being, no, I'm not for that. And if anything, the winner, if Spence is fighting Ugas, and then after that he wants to go with Crawford, I could see that. Thurman, they need to build their way back up. You know what I'm saying? He's been out for a while. Build your stuff back up. You're just trying to jump right back in there, you know? And that's fine. But there's another kid in April. He's going to be fighting for the IBF title eliminator. And his name is Boots. So maybe if you're talking about, you know, wanting to fight the best, I know what he was saying. He was also, I watched that interview too. And, you know, he was dismissive of these young fighters. You know, saying he don't watch them and I don't know who you are and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then he was like to Boots one time when he said he didn't know who he is. He said, "Now I know who you are and I end up watching your fights and I feel like you got enough that you got to do more and stuff like that." You're in a position, you don't have a belt. You've been out. You're not in the position to be telling somebody else what they need to be doing. I think that should be a good fight for you. And then if you can win that fight against Boots, then we talk about you fighting the likes of a Spence or somebody like that. But go in there after this fight, see if you can get past this fight, see what Boots do with his fight in April, and then try to make that fight happen. And then that will probably warrant the fans of you going in there with the likes of a Earl Spence or a Crawford. That's just my thought.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I think that what he's saying was cap. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because he knows people don't want to see this fight. But if you push it as like, you know, a title eliminator, then maybe like, hey, you know what? Maybe we want to check out this fight because Thurman could possibly fight, you know, Spence or Ugas or TC or something. So it's a little different. Now it's like the fight makes sense. But if WBC hasn't announced it and we're only hearing it from Keith, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like this is just like a marketing gimmick, you know. So, but you know, Trill brought it somewhere else. I actually disagree with Trill on this one. I don't think Keith should even entertain Boots right now. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's just too risky, man. So Thurman, just keep doing your thing. Hopefully, you get one of these guys with a belt, you know. But I'm always and this is typical Thurman, but like, you know, oh, I'm not looking for these young guys. This, that. He did the same thing to Spence. And then when Spence got up, now he wants to fight Spence. Spence is like, why should I fight you? Right? That's just the game. You know what I mean? So, you know, Boots is going to get his shot. But if Thurman, man, if you do that, especially with your elbows or whatever injuries you be having, I think you're going to get body bag, man. So, you know, stay healthy and wait for one of these champions to step up.
T-E-E.
Yo, we haven't seen Thurman in like almost 3 years. And I think I agree with you. I think this is just for him to wait to sell the fight until it's announced by WBC or Mauricio Suleiman. Then that's when I accept it as true. But you know, this man's been gone. I was excited for this fight because Barrios was holding it down against Tank. But you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't really. I just think Thurman's just trying to gain some spotlight on him because you know he don't want to flop on his car when this fight happens. That's all.
Huh? Barrios with that Tank fight, was that 140 or 135?
140.
140.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Barrios is also tall for 140. So look,
This ain't.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Now
No, go ahead.
we was talking about this card too, and I don't no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but this is not his card for me.
I already know what you're gonna say. Go ahead, bro.
They banking on Leo Santa Cruz to sell this fight. That's what they banking on. You know what I'm saying? And the Abel Ramos and Josito Lopez fight. That's what they're banking on. Nobody is.
Leo, you say Leo's gonna be in a press conference like Chisora. Pay me more money.
Why you got these elephants? It should be us ants. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, they coming to see us ants.
I know.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Leo.
Leo Santa Cruz.
Tank is calling that his leftover card. Nah, to be honest with you, it means absolutely nothing what Keith Thurman said to me because he's acting like the WBC isn't the same organization that designated Devin Haney the Pride champion. It's like, bro, they could just easily elevate Spence and then make y'all fight for whatever belt or, it's who knows what the WBC. So I think everyone's correct in saying, like, unless the WBC announces it, it means absolutely nothing. And if you're trying to be sanctioned by the WBC, then they should check your weight. So that's another thing I don't understand. It's like, are you paying sanctioning fees for the WBC? Then they should check your weight, bro. Like, I don't see how that means they're gonna make you mandatory. And with that being said, it's not far-fetched. The WBC is the same organization that made Yildirim a mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. And we all know Yildirim had no business being the mandatory for Canelo, so that wouldn't surprise me either. But on a different note, looking at it from a deeper perspective, he said this in response to them asking him about fighting Terrence Crawford. And I don't know if you remember me saying this, but a while back, I was talking about leverage. And I was saying, like, the game is all about leverage. Like, what can you do if you don't do this, right? And Earl Spence has, a plethora of fights he can have. He could fight Ugas, and now they're trying to beef up Keith Thurman, and he has these names that he could fight. And if you're Al Heyman, you can say, well, TC, why would I let you fight Keith Thurman when I can let Earl fight him? Why would I let you fight, everyone when I can profit in-house? And then he doesn't have a machine behind him no more. He used to have Top Rank, the machine behind him that would pay him enough money to support his family and overpay for him to slaughter someone like Amir Khan. Overpay for him to slaughter someone like Sean Porter, because as Trill pointed out in the last segment, 135,000 pay-per-view buys at $70 a wop generates around $9,400,000, and they had to pay Sean Porter and TC $10 million just to fight each other. There goes a loss right there. We're not factoring in the gate, but what was the gate? And is that really a profit? Did it really turn a profit? So I think you have to look at it from that perspective, where Top Rank was giving him a life force, and now he's suing Top Rank. And he's suing Top Rank, and you have PBC, the VP, saying there's no money in doing business with Crawford. Just look at his most recent fight. Just broke down the numbers. There's no money in doing business with Crawford. So what welterweights is he going to fight? Who's he going to fight? And how much money is he going to make? Because if he's looking to make that Bob Arum money, as I pointed out before, that's a deal he's not going to find anywhere else. And so there goes this lawsuit where he's saying that Bob Arum messed up his chances of signing with other promoters based on what he said. And I think that's the result of him realizing he's not going to get that pie in the sky deal that Top Rank gave him, where they were taking major losses anymore. And he wants those numbers. And they're like, hey, bro, we're paying you what you generate, and you generate $135,000. He doesn't like what he's hearing. And he can't go run back to Bob, because Bob said, hey, I'm done taking these L's on you. And so now here goes this lawsuit. He gets the money from this lawsuit. Let's say hypothetically he got $10 million. He would have enough money to fund his own losses now, which is a brilliant strategy. The only thing is I don't believe, and we'll see. I don't know. But I don't know if he would win any money on this lawsuit. We have to wait and see. But the thing is, I think based on what happened with Top Rank, based on what's in the best interest of PBC, I don't think he's going to get these fights. And even if he gets these fights, he's not going to get what he was getting before, and he's not going to get the percentage that he thinks he deserves. So, You know, when Thurman says what he says, I think it may be bigger than him. I think it may be when he said, and I quote somewhat, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I don't think that's in the plans right now. I think he's saying, yo, based on what I'm hearing, TC is not on the menu. So
let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.